welcome back. Dr. Erin Dennis is here talking all things itchy and sneezy and wheezy. We are definitely talking about seasonal allergies. All right, this is something that people talk about all the time. Is it true that like taking local honey can help you with your local seasonal allergies?
So I really wish this one were true because I love honey and I certainly love to have an excuse to do a teaspoonful of honey every day during the spring, but this one is actually a myth. And the reason for that is, the pollens that cause us to have allergies are going to be windborne. And they're tiny pollens. They travel for miles and miles. It doesn't matter if you're near it. But with honey, the bees that's going to be bee pollinated or insect pollinated pollen that's in that. And that sort of pollen is very dense and heavy, and it just really sticks to the plant and needs those insects to move it around. And that's not what's causing the majority of our allergies. So unfortunately, that one's a myth.
Okay, gotcha. All right, good to know. All right, what about the neti pot? Is there a right way or a wrong way to use a neti pot?
Okay, this is an excellent question because neti pots are a very useful tool, especially if you've got sinus congestion, but there's definitely a wrong way. We all hear, several times those rare cases where people have died from it, and it's because they're using tap water. So if you're going to use a neti pot, make sure you're getting distilled water, or if you use tap water, you need to boil it first for a few minutes. Let it cool down because we don't want to scorch your sinuses, and then after that it's safe to use. But before that, it's an absolute no tap water in the neti pot.
Yeah, because you're putting it right there into your nasal cavities and it's kind of like sitting there for a bit.
Yeah, it is, and the problem is if you use tap water, you have the risk of getting bacteria from the tap water in your sinuses. So definitely don't want to do that.
Okay. All right. So with the warmer weather, people are doing yard work, they're exercising outside. What recommendations do you have to help with those seasonal allergies with these types of activities?
So, one thing is either do it really early in the morning or late at night to try to avoid the high pollen counts. If you're doing yard work and you can stand to wear a mask while you're doing it, that will certainly help. If you want to wear sunglasses, if your eyes bother you, that'll keep the pollen at least out of your eyes, so that might help some as well.
All right, and is there a common myth about allergies or treating them that you want to just set straight? I know we set the honey thing straight, but there's probably something else out there.
Yeah, so I think one of the major things that I see with patients coming in is that, they go to the store and there's so many options to buy, and decongestants, people love to get decongestants, and they're great if you're just using it for a couple of days. But if you get decongestants and you stay on those for more than 3 days at a time, what happens is your nose basically quits doing what it's supposed to do, and it quits decongesting on its own. And so these people are coming in, they've been using it for weeks or months or years even, and they can't figure out, why their symptoms aren't getting any better. So it's because, they're using the wrong medication. So definitely want to make sure that you're not getting the Zyrtec D, the Claritin D. Afrin is a huge one that I see people pick that up, when they're grabbing nose spray. So make sure you're getting the right stuff.
The antihistamine is what we're looking for.
The antihistamine and really nasal sprays are an excellent first line option, and the ones you want to look for are the ones that have steroids in them, because that's going to lower the inflammation. And I think people try to, kind of shy away from nasal sprays. Maybe they don't like using them, or they just don't think they're effective, but it's really a great tool as well.
Okay, and if you're concerned that you're experiencing allergies maybe for the first time, who should you contact?
So I think, if you're not sure and you want to speak to someone, your primary care provider is a great place to start. And if you don't have one, you can go to conehealth.com/appointments and get set up with someone there. And if you have allergies, or you've been trying the allergy medicines, they're not working, or maybe you just want to think about other options besides just doing the over-the-counter stuff, then that's a good time to reach out to an allergist.
All right, really quickly, at what point would someone need to go to the allergist?
So again, if they're using those over-the-counter medicines and they don't feel like they're effective, or if they're just tired of taking medicines all the time, then that's a good time to reach out to someone, and we're always happy to help.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And if you missed any of today's Q&A, head over to the WFMYnews2.com website, click in the To Your Wellbeing section.